Good evening and welcome to the Planning Commission meeting for January 27th, 2026. Would you please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? All right, whoever would like to call the roll.
Commissioner Nesbitt.
Here.
Commissioner Ashbaugh.
Present.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Present.
Commissioner Torres.
Present.
Commissioner Young.
Here.
And Chairman Wiley.
Here. All right, good evening. For those who wish to speak tonight, please remember to address all comments and questions to the chair and keep your comments brief and to a point. To expedite tonight's meeting, I'm going to ask anyone who might think they're going to speak or will speak tonight to go ahead and stand. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth before this commission? If so, say I do. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, the first item on the agenda tonight is a special use permit.
Chair,
Yes.
make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Yes, we do need to approve the minutes prior.
Second.
Thank you. We have a first and a second.
Who was the first?
First was Butch, Commissioner Nesbitt, and then Commissioner O'Neill.
Commissioner Nesbitt.
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Yes.
Commissioner Torres.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. And that motion passes 6-0. All right, now we'll move on to the special use permit. Staff?
Okay, this is case 25-200-02. The applicant is,
No.
yes, 25-200-09. The applicant is Janet Higgins, LLC, Airbnb Bed and Breakfast. This action is a special use permit to operate a bed and breakfast at the location of 1304 South Maywood Avenue. So it's in the northwest part of the city, roughly where that star is there. I have on the map. This is the notification area. The properties surrounding Ms. Higgins' home within 185 feet in all directions. They got notification of this application. So this is the zoning map on the right. It's in that yellow area. It's R12, two-family residential, which allows for both two-family and single-family homes. This is dominantly a single-family neighborhood. And the comprehensive plan, of course, envisions this as a residential urban neighborhood. The plan guides the city to improve and maintain housing stock in established neighborhoods. So this is an aerial photograph of the applicant's home here. And this is a little bit closer and clearer without the leaves on the trees. As you can see, the property characteristics, this is a double lot. lots 104 and 105 of Maywood Park. Its parcel is approximately 11,000 square feet. It's in a neighborhood where the homes were largely built in the, basically bungalows built in the 1920s. And this home has approximately 1,200 square feet of living space. Accompanying this bungalow is a small two-car garage that's there to the southwest at the end of a driveway, which narrows down to being a single-car wide driveway closer to the street. So here's the applicant's home. You can see the garage and driveway to the left of the tree and the bungalow house there. The fenced area left of the camping trailer that's sitting there. Behind there is the pool that's on the property that would not be available to the guests. So we'll go and look at the interior of the home. This is the main floor. So again, this is not a short-term rental, but a bed and breakfast. So in this case, the applicant does live in the home and will be providing guest services, breakfast in the morning to guests. She lives or has her master bedroom there on the back there, and then there's another bedroom that's also on this floor that could accommodate 2 adults. And then there's a attic area with beds and living space up there that could also accommodate 2 adults. And then a basement that actually has a walkout door there on the end there, giving direct access to the outside, that would have possibility for 2 adults there as well. So here's the parking plan. So there's a garage here that allows for 2 cars. As I understand, the applicant uses one side for their personal vehicle. The remainder of the garage would not be used. They would have a personal vehicle. There's room to park 2 cars right at the front of those garages, and they'd have their own place for a personal car, and there would be a spot beside it where one of the guests could park. And of course, you need 3 more cars for the 6 adults. So you could have possibly 2 behind that car or 1 behind that, and we do allow 1 space on the street. So this is the view of the street here. We're looking northbound up the street toward 24 Highway. And then to the right, it's downhill southbound the other direction. So these are the standard recommendations. We'll point out that she would only have 6 guests, and the exception to that is, of course, children under 5 can accompany those adults in their room. So I'm ready to take any questions you may have.
All right, thank you, Brian. Any questions for the staff?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead, Commissioner O'Neill.
Is the drive paved?
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to see in this picture because well, no, this one doesn't have snow. The other one had snow. So yes, you can see that it's.
Any additional questions, anyone? All right, I'm going to invite the applicant up. Please state your name. Go ahead to the microphone behind you. And state your name and your address for us. You're fine.
It's Higgins and 1304 South Maywood Avenue, Independence.
What would you like us to know about your project?
Well, there's a lot to know about my project. I have a home that I've been blessed with 4 years ago, and I knew when I got that home that I'd want to share it with other people. It's got character. It is it's over 120 years old. It's got, I'm sure it was here in the beginning of when some of these homes, like when Truman was here. And it just, when I walked into it, I just knew that I needed to do something more than just have myself live there. And I was sitting on my front porch, and it's a great front porch. It came to me to do an Airbnb and a bed and breakfast. So it's not easy to do an Airbnb. All the applications that you go under background checks and everything, but they hired me. It's a job. I've met so many interesting and different people from all over the world. I've had people from Germany come stay, from Japan and stay, and it's just been a blessing to me that I can share the home and have so many different people from so many genres of every aspect of the United States come to our little town in Independence. When the people do come, they're usually here for either the RLDS, the church, and how they have huge conferences here. It's like a main hub, and I've had people stay for that. People that come to the Royals game, the Chiefs game. I'm literally like 7 minutes from there. So it's fun. I'm a sports fan, and all my kids were in sports and played football. So it's fun to watch people come, support their teams, even when they're not Chiefs fans. But hey, it's been fun to be able to do that. So, and now here I am. I've never done this before, gotten in front of all the councils. I didn't know it was so, I guess, more in depth and detail for the city to actually, for me to be a participant of having an Airbnb and bed and breakfast. But I enjoy it. I love it. I really do love what I do. So if you have any questions.
Well, just a couple. By your own admission, you've been using the house already.
Yes.
Before you were allowed to.
Right.
So can you walk me through how long you've been operating? What have you, how'd you find out you needed to be licensed?
Well, when I got the letter in the mail, because I didn't know, I'm totally honest about that and naive pretty much about it, because I didn't know, and that's being honest. I thought I just signed up for an Airbnb and it was okay, because I thought we were under, I remember it's been about 2 years ago that we got a letter stating that the art district in the Inglewood area was doing, like, wanting the Airbnbs, and I'm literally not that far. So I under grounds of not knowing and not really having the navigation to do this, I didn't know. I really didn't until I got the letter.
And I can confirm, I think I was told that you ceased immediately when you heard that you needed to cease.
Well, yes. I didn't shut, like he knows, I didn't shut down the site. I'm going to be honest, because it through Airbnb, we get dinged. I don't know if you guys know that. We get dinged for canceling, for anything that we do, like shutting down. It would be like me reapplying for another job. So I put X's. Like, you can block as much as you want on the site. So that's what I did. I didn't shut it down because it was going to be difficult to go through the whole process of basically getting hired again. And that's what it is. And I'm being honest about that too.
Final thing from me, I know there's a swimming pool and it's not to be used. How are you going to ensure that people are not using your pool?
Well, I'll lock the gates and with a padlock, and they're not to get in there.
What happens?
But I'm there all the time.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's really not going to be an issue, you know, because I live there, I stay there, and I pretty much cater to the guests. The difference with me being the host on site, if a family has, you know, something come up that they need help with, I'm there. So I'm there all the time. It's not going to happen.
Okay, anything else you want us to know?
I want you to know that I feel like I'm supposed to do this, and when the guests come, I have them go to the courthouse exchange to eat. I do all the local Tim's Pizza. I do to try to navigate them to family-owned businesses within Independence to go to. And I try to keep them from eating and going downtown. I try to have them go here to the square, even to Ophelia's if they want Italian. You know, I try to keep them in the circle here. So I mean, it's business. I mean, I have a 4.92 rating, and I'm like in the top 5 for Airbnbs in Independence.
Okay,
So,
great.
Yeah.
Any other commissioners have questions for our applicant? Anyone? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks. And my neighbors, I have a neighbor here that
Can only talk on the microphone.
see, I'm so naive with this. Yeah, I have neighbors that came on my behalf, and I also brought a folder if you guys want to look at it for all the letters and notes that families have left me, and even little kids. So,
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. All right. This will be an opportunity for anyone in the gallery that'd like to speak in favor of this case. Please come forward. Anyone who'd like to speak in favor? And state your name and your address for us.
My name is Michelle Dowell, 20902 East 15th Street South in Independence, 64057. I'm out by the animal
I
shelter.
speak up really
I'm
loud into
sorry.
that microphone.
Sorry about that. Okay, my
Can
name
you
is
read?
Michelle Dowell. I live east of town, 20902 East 15th Street South, right across from the animal shelter. I've known Janet for about probably a year and a half, something like that. I actually know some people that have stayed there, or you know that I know some of her people, and you know I just know that Janet has such a good heart, and I see what she does for these people, and how she handles it, and it's just amazing. You know, she gets nothing but good reviews, and I've heard about her from another friend of mine, and that's kind of how we had met. I just in her house, like she's become a friend of mine actually, and her house is amazingly cute and amazingly clean, and she takes a lot of pride in it. And the one thing that I do like is I've seen her, you know, or I know she's the one that started getting me to go up to the square, you know, and start participating more in Independence. So I know what she's telling you is the truth, and she just has a mission. I think that it's a nice little thing for the community, because there's not a lot of really wonderful places to stay in the area. I mean, it seems like those hotels have they're just not there anymore, you know. But she does an amazing job, and her house is just adorable. So I'm just kind of here for support for her.
Okay, thank you so much. Would anyone else like to speak in favor of this case?
Hello, my name's Rebecca Wright, and I live at 1301 South Maywood Avenue, so I am diagonal right across the street from Janet. And I can just kind of reiterate, she's brought a lot of value since moving into the home. It is so cute. You can tell that she really takes pride in our neighborhood. And so I've been in my home for over 15 years, and whenever Janet came, everything just looks really sweet and cute over there. So we're really blessed to have her in the neighborhood. So.
All right, thank you. Anyone else who'd like to speak in favor? Seeing none, anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? Anyone who would like to speak in opposition? All right. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Commissioners, any additional questions, concerns?
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion we approve case 25-200-09, special use permit 1304 South Maywood Avenue.
All right, I have a first
Second.
and I have a second. All right, I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashball,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
and Chairman Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0 for case number 25-200-09. Congratulations and do good work.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to our next case, which I think are both staff reports regarding UDO amendments.
Yes, thank you. This is case 26-17501. It's UDO amendment number 78, accessory buildings and structures. As you guys know, from time to time, we do go through the code, and if we do have issues that come up periodically with things that may be inconsistent or questions that people may have, or sometimes we go through certain cases and we notice that there's some inconsistencies. And that's what we had seen with the accessory building and structures section of the code here. Just kind of going through it. Basically what this does is this clarifies and updates certain provisions about general terms. So first thing we do is we added some general terms to this, and we'll go over that in a second here. But the reason we did that was because there's some discrepancies about a structure and buildings. And so, in the code, when we adopted the UDO, there were sections of the older code that some of that language stuck in there, and so it wasn't consistent. And so as we have evolved and we see some of these things come up, this is that attempt to go back in and fix it. And so basically, when we look at the interior setbacks and exterior setbacks of section 14-400-01, which is part of the accessory structures section of our code, the intentions there is that buildings and structures are part of those interior setback requirements. And also, we did update some of the exterior, the accessory building separation from 10 feet to 5 feet. Currently, it's 10 feet. The building code actually for fire protection has it as 5 feet, so we wanted to be consistent with that. And so we went ahead and added that update in there as well under that section 4, under that 14-400-01-C. We did include some updates to the height. Basically, it's not to exceed 25 feet. We did put an exclusion in there. There are some sections of the code, for example, like the business park, that goes more than 25 feet. So basically, if there's something in the code that says otherwise, you will follow that 25-foot height for accessory structures. And then when we talk about fences, we needed to have some clarification in there about public, semi-public, and what that means. And so for that portion, under 14-200-01, we did update some of the general terms. We added a couple of terms for recreational facility public and recreational facility semi-private. And so the reason for that was a public would obviously be a recreational facility that's open to the entire public. Semi-private would be things like subdivisions or hotels or motels. And then that also led to needing to update for things like swimming pools, private, public, and semi-private, where private would be basically swimming pools in a residential somebody's backyard, for example, and then swimming pools for public would be public swimming pools. And then those that are semi-private would be things for like HOAs and, again, hotels or or motels or apartment complexes. And really with that, I will take any questions that you guys may have.
Can you clarify again the setback? Is it getting closer?
So it's actually getting closer. So currently it's 10 feet. One of the biggest things that we've had that go through Board of Adjustments a lot of times is that 10-foot separation from accessory structures. So if somebody has a small lot, especially as we go into some of the older neighborhoods, they put an accessory structure, they've got their existing home, and they have to get a UD, or they have to go to the Board of Adjustment to get something because it's too close in that 10 feet. That 10 feet isn't necessarily, I mean, that I think came from some of the older sections of the code before we adopted the UDO, but it's not necessarily in there because of fire protection. Like I said, the fire protection of the building code is 5 feet. So that's what we moved it to 5 feet, so it's consistent with that, and I think that would probably prevent a lot of people having the need to go back to Board of Adjustment to get those approved.
Okay, thank you very much. Any additional questions for staff? All right.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move we approve case number 26175-01.
Second.
I have a first and a second.
Chair,
Yes.
did we have to open that up for?
Yeah,
Yes, we
I
do.
think it's to the, yeah.
Anyone present who'd like to speak in favor or opposition? Anyone who'd like to speak in favor or opposition? I'm seeing none, so I'm going to close that hearing.
I move, Madam Chair,
Yes.
case number 25175-01, UDE Amendment 78.
Second.
All right. UDO, amendment number 78. I'll call for that vote.
Commissioner Nisbet,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
and Chairman Wiley.
Yes. UDO amendment number 78 passes 6-0. And we move on to UDO amendment number 79.
Thank you again. So this is UDO Amendment number 79, case 2617502. It's for temporary signs. This is basically very simple. What we did in this particular section of 14504-04-8, under our sign regulations for temporary signs, we did add a time frame for signs that are of public interest, that those signs not be in place more than 60 days prior to an election and removed 10 days after an election. Currently, we did not have that in our code to give our code enforcement officers an indication as to how long these signs should be out there. And so that is what this amendment is for. And with that, I have nothing else.
All right, staff, I do have a question.
Okay.
If someone puts signs up before a primary, and that's 60 days before the election, do they stay up or do they need to come down and then go back up? And
If it
is
is-
there a provision for that?
If it is brought to our attention, I mean, if this gets approved for that purpose, and if it's brought to our attention that it's up prior to 60 days, then we would send a notification, because typically that sign's going to be on somebody's property. They cannot be on the right of way. So if they're on the property, then we would send a notice to that particular property owner that the sign can only be up within 60 days.
Okay.
Chair.
Yes, Commissioner.
Rick, how did we come up with 60 days?
So one of the things that we do when we typically look at this is we kind of take a survey of some of our adjacent cities and what they look at when they look at some of these types of signs. And so we felt 60 days prior was an appropriate time frame to give people an opportunity to say what they need to say for that particular event. And again, the 10 days to make sure that it's thereafter. But that is kind of a consensus that we see with some of our neighboring cities as well. So.
I'd like to see it go down to 30s. I mean, we seem like get a lot of signs out there. I mean, my opinion is it needs to be 30 days, not 60. I mean, I don't know if we can do anything about that or not.
Rick, can you tell us, out of the cities you surveyed, were the majority of them 60? Were any 30? Were any 45? Was there
Majority
anything
of them,
else
I
out
believe,
there?
were 60 days.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean
That was the standard that you saw?
and that's primarily the reason why we kind of wanted to stick to that 60 days, is to be consistent. So
Okay.
Now, Rick, also, you said about right-of-ways. I mean, a lot of the signs I see out there in the city right-of-way, do you guys do anything about that, or the 60 days, that's still okay with all that?
So again, they're not supposed to be in the right of way. So if we do notice them, then staff can go and remove those. Typically what we're going to do is we're going to contact the person, because sometimes those are pretty valuable signs, and make sure that they have an opportunity to take them. You do see them a lot of times, however, in state right of way. And in those situations, we don't go out and take them. They're not in city right of way. So that's really kind of a choice that we give MoDOT, for example, if it's along Nolan Road or along 24 Highway or something like that. Those areas, until it becomes a nuisance, there is a section of the code for signs that are, let's say, derelict, or they're up there for a long period at a time and they're not maintained and they look like they're becoming dilapidated, then we can go and take them. But generally speaking, we're talking about the ones in city right away.
Okay, my next question is going to be, Rick, okay, I like the 10 days following. How you enforce that? Is there a penalty? Is there a fine or anything?
Very good question. Essentially, again, we know sometimes when elections happen, some of these signs are going to be left out there, but our goal is to make sure that we let those property owners know that they need to be removed. If it is necessary, we can obviously send letters. I mean, this would be a code section, so it would be enforceable in that way. So it could become a violation if it got to that point. But generally speaking, our goal is to make sure that those individuals have an opportunity to pick up and take their signs, because we know they cost a lot, and usually they don't want to have us take them and throw them away. So.
Okay, thank you.
And Rick, I just want to clarify, we're using the example of political signs, but it could be a garage sale sign for
It could be any sign
HOA.
for any,
Okay.
yes, what we call public interest event.
Okay.
Could be directional signs for real estate property too.
We
Open
do-
houses.
It could be things like that, but we do have some specific codes for things like residential properties and like selling of lots on, like for new subdivisions and stuff. So there are some different sections of code for that. But it could be something more simpler, like if you're talking about residential, somebody wanting garage sales or something like that.
Rick, does it also include signs for, like, I know a lot of schools will put out signs for student athletes, and does it include, if, I see signs that say, I have a son or daughter who's in the Army, or, one of does it include those?
Celebratory signs.
Yeah, as well?
We
Or is it
do
intended
have-
to?
So this was really more targeted towards those election signs. We do have, and I'd have to go back, and don't have the code in front of me, I apologize, but we do have sections of code that allow property owners to have signs of certain sizes that are out there, and I believe there's a time frame on those as well. I think it's 60 days, if I remember, that they can leave those signs out there before they would become a nuisance, basically. So, but really, this was really more targeted towards those election signs.
Gotcha. Okay.
Rick, are they supposed to get a permit for these signs?
They don't get a permit for these, no.
So how do you know it's been 60 days?
Those are just, we would have to know when they were there, yes. That's,
I know you got a lot to do, but now you got somebody that looks
Yeah.
for signs all day long.
yeah. Well, we do
track
have
of
people that do go around, and they do take quadrants of the city, and they do, I'll tell you, during those seasons, we do heighten that, just to make sure everybody's kind of playing by the same.
So,
Game.
and do they know how far they're supposed to put them away, or are they just, you know
What
what
do
I'm
you
saying?
mean?
The political people, do they know?
Yes, how will the political people be informed of this new code?
So, in terms of, we would just have to notify them if they become an issue. So, generally speaking, with any code change or any code amendment, it first starts with the notification, and that way it gives them an opportunity to remedy that. So, right now, I'm not aware of us having a plan other than it going through council. This will have to go through council, of going and trying to advertise that out. And we'll probably have something that maybe our PIO officer can put out there on social media prior to an election, just to make sure that people are aware that this is a new code if it gets approved.
Okay,
But-
thank you.
Is there exemption for zoning change signs?
Zoning change signs are different. So, yeah, those fall under different code sections for being required to be posted
I thought so.
for a period of time prior to.
Pretty clever. Pretty
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Any additional questions, commissioners? All right, I will entertain a motion. Oh, excuse me, I will not. Anyone who'd like to speak in favor or opposition of this UDO amendment? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Now I'll entertain a motion.
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
I make a motion to approve case 26175-02, UDO Amendment 79, temporary signs.
All right,
Second.
I have a first and a second. All right, I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Nesbitt,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
and Chairman Wiley.
Yes, and UDO amendment number 79 passes 6-0. All right, for the good of the order, anything we need to know, Rick, for next meeting?
Not for the next meeting. I think we've got like 4 short-term rental cases. The one in March, I believe it's the first one in March, we're going to have on the schedule. I believe we have like 8 of them. And we're going through some of those to see if some of those are specific for FIFA or not, which may reduce that number. But as of right now, it looks like there'll be at least 8, possibly 7. But the second meeting in March will be our last meeting here, from what I'm being told, in this building. After that, there's a couple of different locations that we might look at. The old IUC, I say old IUC, it's not the old IUC, but we might be there, or we might be in one of the conference rooms at the new building. So we'll just have to keep you posted, and we'll have to send out notifications for where that location's going to be. But it won't be here after the second meeting in March. So.
All right, I'd also like to ask commissioners anything to share, because last meeting I cut us off short and Eric had a question. So any questions for our city staff or anything, or our attorney? All right, seeing none, I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 6:39.